It's my pleasure to talk about the green development in China. I'd like to have 3 questions and information to share with all of you. That's very briefly 3 questions. One is about why and what and how for the China's green development. About why, you know, just mentioned in the last 30 years, China has a very high rate of economic growth, which may nearly about 10% annually, but also have very high impact, which means very quick but not green. So this is challenges. China at the moment is at the crossroads and faces 2 choices. One is about if still continue older models, quick but not green. Another choice, how to shift from the older models to new models, which is a green development. So maybe I give you use this formula. I is equal to PAT. Give briefly what's the future in China. I means impact in terms of energy, resource, and pollution, etc. Impact is the result of the 3 basic elements. One is the population in terms of number. The second is affluence, which is the GDP per capita. Final is the technology, but including the hard technology and the soft technologies. So P times A is the total GDPs. At the moment, China government make decisions will be in the next 2 decades. The economic total in terms of GDPs will be 4 times at 2010, which is nearly about more than 10,000 US dollars. So in that case, how big is the impact? According to this formula, we can take a look. Maybe we have 3 scenarios like this one. If the population by 2010 population, the total is 1.34 billion as a basic year, as a basic number. By 2030, the population nearly about 1.45, which is the 1.1 times of the 2010. Then the second element is about the affluence GDP per capita. It's a so big increase. 2010 GDP is about 4,000 US dollars as a basic year, as a basic number. By 2030, I mentioned 4 times at 2010. That means 60,000 US dollars, which is 4 times at 2010 the numbers. If now we take a look about what kind of technology. We have 3 situations. If technology doesn't change, this means the technology is the same to the 2010, which means the final result, impact, is the 4.4 times of the 2010. You know, 2010 is not good. By 2030, is 4.4 times as that number. Is very awful. We are here, don't like that situation. Even economic growth is very quick, but not green, not environmental friendly. So we take a look at the second scenarios. If technologies will reduce half impact, which means we use the half impact to get that number that amount of the GDPs. The total impact still is 2.2 times of the 2010. The first scenario is awful, but the second scenario may be possible still. But for the China peoples, including the government officials and experts, and from the common peoples, they want to get in much better than the second scenario. So we take a look at the third one. Third one means technology reduced the 1/3 impact. That means we still have 1.5 times of the 2010 numbers. This is the best situation for China. Still is worse, but China can do the best efforts towards this kind of issues. So that's why I want to say the first question is about why China should shift to the new models, which is the green models. That's the first question. Then the second, what's the difference between or among Europe countries, US and China, towards green transition? There are three basic elements or driving force. One is about how about physical infrastructure? For the US and Europe, physical infrastructure was done. That means developed. But for China, it's developed countries, which means short of a lot of basic infrastructures. So still should develop a lot of stocks, physical stocks to support, to improve the life standards. So this is the first element. The second, in terms of political initiatives. For example, China also take some ways of the government top-down approaches to promote some initiatives, some social movement, including the environmental movement. Very strong. But for the Europe, maybe in the middle. US is very low because US it is not active to promote the green initiatives. The final element is about awareness and know-how knowledges. I think China can learn a lot from Europe, particularly from Germany. I remember in 1998, I was the first visit to Germany. In that time, Germany just set up a law about solid waste in terms of closed-loop materials. Then we introduced this concept into China. At the moment, China takes this concept into the national laws, which is the very important of the element of the China's eco-civilization. Okay, this is the third one. So I said China has three elements. One is the physical infrastructure. Still, we should development. Take a look at these pictures. For the urbanization, by the 2010, China's urbanization rate just beyond the half, 51%. But for the Germany and for US, more than 70% of the peoples, they are living in the city, or this kind of same situations. So China in the next decades, 2 decades, nearly each year has 1% of the peoples into the city things. So this means the physical infrastructures China want to development. In which way? Green way or black or brown ways to development this kind of physical infrastructures. Okay, like this high-speed railway systems, just beginning. maybe next 10 years, a lot of initiatives and money investment to this kind of green infrastructure, instead of all the traditional highway systems. Okay, this is the second question. What's the difference towards green transition between the US, Europe, and China? Finally, I want to say how to do China 3 combination or 3 green innovation. The first one is normally about environment protections. We pay more attention about end of pipe treatment. This is not right way towards green. We should combine development models with end of pipe treatment. This is the whole life treatment. This is the one innovation to combine the 2 things. The second combined, I mentioned China's takeaway of the top-down approaches. This is not enough. We should combine top-down approaches with bottom-up, which means including the market driving force and public participation. And this is the second combination. The third one, combination, just take a look at these pictures. For example, for mobilities, people, especially from the technical fields, people pay more attention about energy-saving private cars and renewable cars. This is just a technical way. How to combine behavior models like such as car sharing system. I know Germany is very good in this kind of new styles. And also we should set up some new models of cities, which means function mixed and need less transport, not just focus on the technologies. So I said for the third questions, how to do 3 combinations towards the green innovation. That's what I want to say in 3 aspects, China information towards green development. That's all. I thank you for attention.